Alright, let's make a new video here. Checking out your work. Yeah, I don't have any qualms with the colors. You were concerned about the colors. I know you tried multiple different approaches. One thing I want you to keep in mind in general is typically we want the type to stand out more than the colors. So in general we do that because the type is black and it's usually on white, therefore it has the highest contrast, so it attracts the eye the most, so that makes it a successful element. Here we're adding a stroke to it. You know, we tend not to add strokes to type because, as you can see, it kind of chokes. The line goes both on outside and inside, and that's referred to as choking typography. So, you know, I'd consider that. I'd also consider an overlap. That is, overlaps create unity. So that's the second principle I want you to keep in mind. First principle to keep in mind is that we want the type to have the most contrast. Second, overlap creates unity. So let's consider this. Let's consider that this circle here was moved off to the side and maybe bigger, and it was overlapped by MI arts. And if this didn't have a stroke, then this dark gray and the black would kind of clash. So I would replace this stroke color maybe with this one right here. So it'd be purple with a lighter purple, not a lot of difference, but enough to, you know, be recognizable. And then the overlap. We could also increase the overlap by doing that one, but I'm not sure if we'd lose it, so we'd have to lighten that gray if this circle was also being overlapped by the logo. We might have to make this gray lighter. Okay, so that's, you know, something to consider. State of the art. Well, thank goodness we've put type in a box, but the type is not touching, so good job. That's one principle you're following here. Now let's consider eye flow. The eye wants to go here and then kind of here and then here and then here and then here. So there's kind of a little conflict. I do have a suggestion. Maybe we make the circle much bigger right here area, not interrupting this type, but maybe interrupting over here. And this type would have to respond by curving. We would do that by choosing this shape and choosing the correct text wrap. I believe it's the third one over. That would allow the type to follow the shape of this curve. And then our eye would go from here to this big picture, then to this, then we would flow down ideally, and then over and over. So that's, you know, a possible solution. Also, you know, main articles tend to have their own spread. That means state of the art, this picture, and this text could all be on these two pages by itself, meaning all of this could be moved farther into the book. So, you know, something to consider. That would help it look more like a main article if you did. All right. Here's a good example of how overlap creates unity. You created unity through this, through overlap. So it kind of comes across as one decoration rather than separate circles. So that's impressive. Watch out, that's really wild. That's a really wild orphan, or that's an orphan. Look, because it says the Boeing Company. And it's like, what? Way over here floating around. You could just remove by MI Arts and then remove the and remove company. Just by MI Arts and Boeing, period. So that would save that hassle. Strange alignment right here. You got this, and then it goes here, and then it goes. So this is kind of a wacky place to type. So look at the alignment here, it doesn't really line up. Look at the alignment here, doesn't really line up. Alignment here doesn't really line up. So we've got some baseline grid alignment issues that you could consider. One of the principles we've tried to talk about since the beginning is called line length. And you know, lines can be too short or too long. Right here, all these lines across, fabulous, well done. The right length. I come over here, too short. So these are potentially getting too long. These are too short. These are just right. So we could probably leave that one, but this is something that needs to be fixed, and the alignments here should be fixed. Oh, and also lastly, same equals boring. So, you know, move this guy somewhere else. I don't know. Oh, and by the way, this MI Arts 2, that was just there to tell you what page it came from. I wasn't really expecting you to put that in the document, so I'd probably remove that part, because you have two, if you keep it this way, you have two kind of competing headlines that confuse people. All right, Board of Trustees. Oh, that's an interesting arrangement. I don't think they're all showing, and I think, I hate to say it, but most Board of Trustees are a little on the cocky side. They'd be kind of upset if their picture was missing. So I think there's a lot more of them than this. So we need to somehow include all of them. Now, I noticed later on you got plenty of room, so you know all of this stuff could easily be moved over. If you want to show more of the board, I wouldn't put their circles right on the fold, as their face would get folded right down the middle. So I'd maybe put them right here, right here, right here. I'm happy that these are all circles. This one looks like an oval. I'd fix that. That looks like an oval. I'd fix that. The picture looks stretched here. I'd fix that. And I'm not sure what's going on with this like white square outline. So I'm not sure if that's a Photoshop error or what. So in conclusion, there's an orphan. I think that goes down here. I would probably bold their names. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're showing half of the board right now. So half of the board would be very upset if our picture wasn't there. So I'd probably fix that. And, you know, it says caption. You don't need to put the word caption. That was there to help you know what text went on a page. Like over here, you're showing the caption correctly, but you don't have to use the word caption. Add these names to the correct photo. So, you know, like if this is Jesse, then it's supposed to have the name right there. And this is Michael, and then it should have the name right there. So, you know, that's something to consider fixing. Now, these two pictures do not go with this, I don't think, out and apart with the art. Well, maybe they do. But see, you have the holiday party. I think these two pictures traditionally go with the holiday party, which is good because, you know, you got a lot of space here. And this text right here, you don't need it because it's in a pull quote. Oh, and this is a caption. So all of this text is not needed. So there's a drastic change. Let's take this and put it over here and make a nice arrangement. All this text, well, it's already here and here. I don't know where caption 5 goes. Maybe it's one of these. I'm not sure. So let's look at the original and figure that out. Fix it. Take part in the art. Now, I believe we've already had the take part in the art article. And state of the art. Oh, okay. State of the art. That strikes me as a little big. It rivals the main article. So I'd probably reduce it a little bit. Again, MI Arts 4, that thing, you could get rid of it. Type can go large and then smaller. So, you know, this is probably 9 point. This is probably 9, so that's great. And I come over here and I've got like 12, 15, something like that here. And then I go 9, so it's interesting. So I'd probably fix that part. Oops, jumped around on me. There's also a graphic that's called Take Part in the Art, and a lot of people use the graphic in place of the title. So that's something you should do. You could consider doing, and you could just place the artwork. Make sure it's the artwork that says Take Part in the Art, and then it says MI Arts at the bottom. There's another one that says Arts Fund. You don't want that one. Line length, you know, when it's too long, there's a problem. And when the type is 9 point and it's this wide, we've got a problem. So we'd probably have to break this into columns, just like you did right here. So column, column. Not sure, but there could be pictures that go along with this. So that's, and we could make it a little bit bigger if we have this much room. Okay, you got this broken into columns, but it appears as boxes. And you know, we've been working very hard to make sure that when type is in a box, the type doesn't touch the edge of the box. And all of this touches the edge. So that's something that's got to be fixed. The other thing is the box itself, this outline, is the same color as the type. Therefore, it competes with the type. So I would probably change it to, let's see, maybe this background color, this light purple, would be the outline, and that would be fine as long as we had padding. You know, the type wasn't touching the edge. You could pull that off, and then the type would be far more readable, because as you can look at this page, you see that those black borders are the things that stand out, and they distract you and make it hard to read the type. So you don't really need this. Now board staff is one title. Maybe this is the main title. Yeah, and this is subtitle. So you got to make this bigger, or that's smaller, and then this a little bit smaller. Again, if you have time, I would bold the names of, you know, the officers, and bold the names of the board members, myself, because then you'd create hierarchy within your text. That would be very clever. Okay, good place for the pledge form. Again, you don't want the pledge form in this border that touches the type. Again, we don't need MI Arts 7, MI Arts 8. Those are just there to help you figure out what pages the text came from originally. And you do have this blank edge. So let's count the pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So you have 21 right now. So that's a good thing, because you know we don't really need this page. So this would make this the back cover. If this was page 20 and we got rid of this one, you'd have the correct number of pages, but this would be the back cover, which would be fine. So consider doing that. Okay, so those are my thoughts for you. I think you're getting better at InDesign, better at using this, so I hope this video helps. Thank you.